Do you still want to know what I was writing about in my journal? I'd like to tell you. Question everything. Question everything? What does that mean? Well, I've got a little story to tell you that'll explain just that. Do you want to hear a story? Good. Once upon a time in a town called Winoya, there was a sloth named Sarah who loved asking questions but hated answering them. She would ask just to get her gears turning, but never closed herself off to only one answer. If she asked herself, "Why am I tired?" she would reel out different ideas. "Well, I went to bed kind of late, and also I didn't eat much dinner, and I haven't had much water today, and I played outside a lot yesterday," and on and on and on with different possibilities. She could never decide on just one answer to a question because so many of her ideas made sense. In school, Sarah Sloth had a hard time because her teachers wanted her to focus on answers instead of questions. One day, her math teacher, Augustus Otter, asked her, "What is 1 plus 1? And Sarah knew that he wanted her to say 2. But in her head, she thought about how one left hand and one right hand makes 10 fingers, or how one piece of bread with peanut butter and one piece of bread with jelly makes one sandwich, or how one head of hair and one pair of scissors can make thousands of little hairs all over the floor. So she shrugged her shoulders and said, "It depends." Once again, she found herself in the school counselor's office. She always seemed to end up there when she wouldn't answer her teacher's questions how they wanted her to. Her school counselor, Mariah Moth, really liked Sarah Sloth. She could see that Sarah was a curious person, and she knew curiosity and questions are very important. Each time Sarah walked in, Mariah would smile softly and say, "What happened this time, Sarah?" "Mr. Otter wanted me to tell him what 1 plus 1 was, and I said, it depends on one of what. And I know he just wants me to say 1 plus 1 is 2, but I can't. There are so many other possibilities." Miss Moth sat very silently for a moment. Sarah was nervous, wondering what she was thinking. Suddenly, Miss Moth began to flap her wings very quickly, and Sarah knew this meant she had an idea, so she started listening very closely. "I'm going to set you up with an internship with my friend Statsworth Sheep, the mayor of Winoya. That means you will be working for them, and I think your curiosity and love of questions will bring a lot to their office." Sarah wasn't sure how she would help, but agreed. And the next week, Sarah Sloth strolled into Mayor Statsworth Sheep's office, dressed up with a suit and briefcase, and was stunned. Her eyes widened as she saw the mayor pacing around the office shouting, "Bad news! Bad news! Bad news!" Though Sarah was new and nervous to be in the office, she couldn't help but be curious about what that bad news was. With questions running through her head, she walked right up to Mayor Sheep and said, "What's wrong?" "What's wrong?" replied the mayor. "What isn't wrong? The peanut butter sandwich factory ran out of bread. The school is upset that there are knots in their jump ropes. President Reginald Rabbit is mad at me and—" "Wait a minute. Who are you?" "Sarah Sloth at your service. I'm a student of Miss Mariah Moth, and I'm your new intern." "Oh, and now I just confessed all my problems to my new intern. This is just not my day." Mayor Sheep slumped into their chair, threw their head back, and let out a big, "bad day." Sarah's curiosity sprang into action. "How could all these things be your fault?" she asked. "I'm the mayor, aren't I? So if there are problems with the town, it must be a problem with me. I'm the common answer." Aha! Sarah's mind clicked as she realized the mayor was thinking only of answers. But Sarah began to think of all the different questions and possibilities. Could the peanut butter sandwich factory have run out of bread because they didn't order enough? Or maybe because the wheat fields weren't growing? Or what if a hungry human came in and ate all the bread? Statsworth listened to Sarah and started to soften. Well, yes, I suppose those things could have happened. And those aren't your fault, reminded Sarah. And you didn't tie the knots in the jump ropes, did you? No. They could have been tied up by someone who didn't like jumping rope. Or maybe it's a new form of music someone is creating where the different size knots make different sounds when they hit the ground. None of those are your fault either. The mayor thought for a moment. I guess you're right, Sarah. I didn't think about all those different questions and possibilities. Suddenly, the mayor relaxed, even started to smile, realizing that these problems weren't their fault. They just got stuck on one single answer and didn't think of the other ideas. But wait, President Reginald is still mad at me. Why do you think he's mad? Asked Sarah. Well, we were talking on the phone about how much traffic there is on his commute to work, and he said he was so mad and he had to go, and then he hung up. Sarah laughed. It sounds like he isn't mad at you, just mad at what's happening. Sometimes people get mad around you, but it doesn't mean they're mad at you. Are you sure? Asked Mayor Sheep. No, I'm never 100% sure of anything. That's why I ask a bunch of questions and think of a bunch of different possibilities. Only the president can tell you if he's mad at you. Why don't you call him and ask? And though it took some convincing, Mayor Statsworth's sheep called President Rabbit and found out that no, the president wasn't mad at the mayor at all, just at the traffic. You were right, Sarah, the mayor said. I was thinking that I was to answer to all these problems, but I wasn't thinking about all the different questions. I know this is your first day, but you deserve a promotion. I'm going to make you my personal advisor. And so, Sarah Sloth, with her infinite questions, brought curiosity back to the town of Winoya and helped the mayor and the citizens look for questions, not just answers.